Picture this, the barren runway of Anchorage, Alaska, frozen over like a lost frontier. Suddenly, from the sky, emerges the unmistakable silhouette of a B-2 Spirit stealth bomber. A flat, eerie black arrow slicing across the sky escorted by F-22 Raptors and F-35 Lightning IIs. The air vibrates with sheer controlled power. Its shadow falls over two men whose handshake could redefine global power: President Donald Trump and President Vladimir Putin. This was no ordinary meeting. This was stagecraft at 40,000 feet. On August 15, 2025, two of the most watched leaders on Earth met on the only piece of American soil that was once Russian territory. And the sky above them was scripted for something bigger than diplomacy. It was a message. The B-2 Spirit was never designed for public greetings. It was built for absolute silence, for invisibility. It's the ghost in the sky. The plane that flies into enemy territory, drops a nuclear payload, and vanishes into the radarless void. Each B-2 costs over $2 billion and only 21 were ever built. Its entire purpose is to make sure no one sees it until it's too late. And yet here, on this day, it was displayed in full view, not in war, but in welcome. Not to frighten enemies, but to greet one. Why? Because bombers are language. And this B-2 said, "This is how far we'll go to control the narrative." Every inch of its carbon composite body is shaped to deflect radar. It can fly 6,000 miles without refueling, or up to 11,000 with aerial support. It carries not only nuclear gravity bombs, but also JDAMs, GPS-guided precision bombs that can wipe out bunkers with pinpoint accuracy. It's been battle-tested in Kosovo, Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, sometimes flying 30-hour missions non-stop from Missouri to the target and back. And on this day, its role was not to destroy, but to dominate attention. Putin saw it. Everyone saw it. As the B-2 passed overhead, body language analysts pointed out a telling shift. Putin's fingers brushed his hip, his shoulders slightly squared. The now viral holster hand. Was it unconscious tension, a flash of intimidation, or just reflex? Either way, the moment went viral, feeding speculation that the bomber above had struck its target, the mind of the man below. Inside the summit, the talk was measured, polite. Trump pitched a ceasefire in Ukraine. Putin deflected. Then Trump changed the script. He proposed not a pause in fighting, but a full peace deal. Details weren't given, but the language changed. The pressure shifted. And in the shadows of that summit, a different game had begun. Putin didn't concede. No borders were returned. No soldiers withdrew. But he gained something else: visibility, legitimacy, and headlines. For a man under an international criminal court warrant, being invited onto U.S. soil, then walking alongside a B-2 bomber, was the clearest signal yet that he still mattered. And then came the most curious line of the day: Putin inviting Trump to Moscow. No date, no details, just an invitation, hanging in the air like a second stealth flyover. Let's talk about what that might look like. Because if today's handshake in Alaska was about subtle dominance, tomorrow's meeting in Moscow might go the opposite route. Loud, brash, designed to mirror and answer the American B-2 with Russia's own strategic icon, the Tupolev Tu-160 Blackjack. While the B-2 is a whisper in the sky, the Tu-160 is a shout. The largest and fastest supersonic bomber in the world, capable of flying at Mach 2, the Tu-160 is a weapon of intimidation, not stealth. It bristles with cruise missiles, long-range nuclear payloads, and a wingspan wider than a 747. Unlike the B-2, it doesn't try to hide. It dares you to stop it. It's been dubbed White Swan by the Russians, but it's more like a flying fortress, and it's designed to be seen. Imagine the optics. Trump steps off a plane in Moscow. Flags wave. The Russian anthem plays. And above him, 4 Tu-160s scream overhead in a tight formation. Putin extends a hand. the media flashes, and the skies answer what Alaska started. This wouldn't be just protocol. It would be a calculated response. Where the U.S. used quiet force, Russia might use overt thunder. A message of parity, of rebalancing global narratives. And maybe a warning of rebalancing global narratives. It's been seen near Alaska. And in recent years, it's been refitted with hypersonic missiles, the kind that can fly 5 times the speed of sound and maneuver mid-flight. The kind of weapon that makes even the best missile defense systems sweat. And yes, Putin has flown one. In December 2022, he rode in a Tu-160 cockpit for 3 hours during televised drills. Not just a passenger, but a commander in spirit. It was a move designed to project strength ahead of elections. A message: I ride with power. If that's the plane greeting Trump in Moscow, it changes everything. It says, you showed us your ghost. Now meet our hammer. But it doesn't end there. Because this whole game, bombers, handshakes, Arctic locations, isn't just about posturing. Because this whole game, bombers, handshakes, Arctic locations, isn't just about posturing. It's about what lies underneath. The Arctic is melting. And beneath its thawing ice are trillions of dollars in oil and gas, resources long locked away, now becoming accessible. Both the US and Russia have military bases there. Both have claimed roots. And both see it not just as territory, but as opportunity. A handshake in Alaska isn't just symbolic, it's strategic. It's a claim, a presence. A reminder that whoever controls the sky over the Arctic might also control the sea lanes below. It's why Russia has deployed nuclear subs beneath the North Pole. Why the US conducts joint training operations in the Arctic with NATO. And why both sides now use bombers not just as threats, but as messages. Because in this new Cold War 2.0, bombers don't drop bombs, they drop narratives. They say, we're here. We see you. We dare you to blink. Which brings us back to today. Trump and Putin walked together in Alaska, watched by the world, with a B-2 above and speculation below. No treaty was signed, no ceasefire declared. But the stories written in vapor trails may be more permanent than ink on paper. And now, the stage is set for the next act. If Trump goes to Moscow, and that invitation still stands, what will Russia do to return the favor? Will they keep it simple, or will they raise the stakes? A Tu-160 flyover? A full military parade? Hypersonic missile displays? Or something even subtler? A launch drill that coincidentally happens as Trump arrives? History tells us leaders love symbolism. History tells us leaders love symbolism, and in this age, that symbolism lives in the sky. Because while diplomats shake hands, bombers speak louder. And here's what we're left with. Was the Alaska summit about peace, or was it about posture? Was the B-2 a welcome or a warning? And if the next meeting happens under the wing of Russia's blackjack, what message will that send? To NATO, to Ukraine, to China, to us? That peace is possible? NATO, to Ukraine, to China, to us? If you think this was just theater, comment show of force. If you believe this is only the first volley in a new era of diplomacy written in contrails, comment bomber greet. And subscribe, because when the next handshake comes, it might not be on land. It might be beneath the thunder of bombers again.